Hey, sweetheart. I just wanted to talk to you about tomorrow.
Again? How many times are you gonna ask me?
It's just... Anyone would be nervous about this. You know it's the first time I'm seeing your parents after I proposed.
Calm down. Just be yourself. Talk to them like you normally would. You've met them like 100 times. There's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but it's just that I never really asked for their permission before I proposed to you.
That won't matter. My parents are super easygoing. It's not like they're going to oppose us getting married.
Yeah, I don't think they'd say that. I think they're great too.
See? They're probably just gonna ask you a bunch of questions about how you proposed and where our wedding's gonna be. Otherwise, just make conversation like usual.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, I'll be on my best behavior.
Just be yourself. They love you. And so do I. Probably said this before, but they're happy that creepy guy that stalked me from college finally left me alone once we started dating.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
That was all thanks to you. My parents know that you saved me and they're so thankful.
I didn't really do anything, though.
He must have been intimidated by your good looks and dazzling charm. My parents always talk about how grateful they are that you drove that weirdo away.
I wonder if that's really why that guy cut it out. Just nudge me or something if I start saying anything awkward tomorrow. I'm as stiff as a board from how nervous I am.
No! Remember to be on time.
Hey, Anthony. Thanks so much for coming by our house yesterday. Hey, Mrs. Jones, thanks for having me. I really can't thank you enough for consenting to our marriage. You have no idea how nervous I was about going to meet you and Mr. Jones. But since you both were so nice to me, I really felt at ease. It was a pleasure talking with you both. Consent to your marriage? I don't remember ever saying that. Wait, what do you mean? Hang on a second. I must be misunderstanding something. Since we had such a great conversation, I thought we all were on the same page about this. So, does that mean you oppose us getting married? I'm not saying I oppose. What I'm saying is that I don't think you're right for our daughter. What? You don't think I'm right for her? Since you never asked for our permission to marry her, we never gave you the green light to ask our daughter to marry you. So now we're telling you, no, we don't give you permission to marry her. I just didn't think asking for permission was necessary. We had an emergency family meeting right after you left. We decided as a family that you aren't fit to be her husband. In fact, we think it's best that you break up with each other. I don't know what to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does that mean Mary agreed to this too? Of course she did. Oh. Why do you think I'm so unfit to marry her? If it's not too much to ask, I really would like to know. The reason? It's because you smell like garbage. What? I stink. Yeah, you stink. You smell so bad I almost fainted. I don't want my daughter dating a smelly bum like you. Any other questions? Break up with her this very instant. Are you serious? Yes, of course I am. I'm just in shock because I've never been told I smell bad before. Guess I'm sorry for the way I smell. I'll take extra care to smell good from now on. I'll buy some nice cologne and rewash all my clothes. So, do you think you could give me another chance if I promise to do that? I don't think you could scrub off that stench even if you used a fire hose. You stink down to the bone. I don't want my precious daughter anywhere near someone who reeks so badly. Just being in the same room as you made me want to gag. Oh, I see. Don't bother trying to change. Nothing is going to make you smell any better. We don't want our daughter to marry you. Also, don't even try to say you want another chance to talk to her or say you'll do whatever it takes to win her back. It would be completely pointless. Mary, I was just talking to your mother. She said I was unfit to marry you. I didn't really understand what was happening. I thought we were going over there to talk to them, not so I could be grilled and judged like that. I feel like I've been tricked. Is your mom playing a prank on me?
Sorry, sweetheart. It's not a prank. She really doesn't think you're a good match for me.
Are you serious? You said we were going there just to talk to them, but really it was for them to have the final word about if we can get married or not?
Yeah, I thought that if I put it that way, you wouldn't come. You were already so nervous. Sometimes parents don't approve of their child's marriage. So, it was kind of like a final interview more than just a friendly meeting.
Don't you think that's a little weird? You're the one who said you'd marry me and wanted to go tell her parents that we were engaged.
Yeah, but I guess so.
You guess so. I got down on one knee and you told me yes.
Yeah, but my parents got the final decision about whether or not we should get married. You're an adult, you have to understand that. Marriage isn't just about the two of us. If my parents say we can't get married, I have to follow their wishes. If we get married now, they'd completely disown me.
I get what you're saying, but I just think there must be something I can do to win them over and get their blessing. Isn't there anything you can do to work something out with them, even though they said no at first?
Work something out? I don't think there's anything I can do.
There has to be. You could have at least told me that I didn't smell good before we met them. I had no idea I smelled that bad. I know it's not easy to tell someone that, but I really wish you would have said something. I'm sorry if you'd been putting up with it all this time. I'm really doing everything I can now to smell better.
My mom told you that you smell bad?
Yeah, she did. That's the reason she said she didn't think I was fit to marry you.
Oh, she must not have told you the truth.
What do you mean?
She doesn't think that you smell bad. She thinks you're poor.
What? She thinks I'm poor. Why does she think that?
Oh, I didn't really want to have this conversation. You're working in a factory now, right? My parents don't think working in a factory is the best career for their daughter's husband.
What are you talking about? I'm really working my butt off to try and support us. I make enough so that you don't need to have a full-time job.
It's not that. It doesn't really have to do with anything about money. It's more about, how do I say this? It's just the fact that you work in a factory, I guess. It's not necessarily a respectable job like a doctor or a lawyer.
That's a pretty prejudiced opinion.
I can't help it if that's what they think.
Mary, listen. I'm serious when I say that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I promise to make sure we really do live happily ever after. All I'm asking is that you'll be on my side during all this.
Do you remember when we first started dating and you told me your friend got you a job at a super well-known company? I thought for sure you'd be working at their headquarters or something. You're a handsome, hardworking guy. That's what really attracted me to you at first. But then when you told me you'd just be working at the company's factory, I don't know, it was a little disappointing.
You really sound a lot like your parents.
I can't help it. Since your friend got you the job, I guess I couldn't say anything, but to be honest, I wanted to break up with you since then. I'm sorry for stringing you along all this time.
You couldn't tell me yourself that you wanted to break up with me, so you had your parents say it for you. You knew exactly how they'd react when we told them about getting married.
I honestly did have feelings for you at one point. I even asked myself why you had to be working at a factory. If you had a more respectable job, my parents would have definitely approved of us getting married. But when I imagine you covered in grease with a hard hat on, I don't know, it really turned me off.
Got it. You don't need to say any more. If you wanted to break up with me from the start, you should have just said it. You're making it worse explaining it all to me this way. When I asked you to marry me, you shouldn't have said yes.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Well, you did. A lot.
I have a favor to ask.
What?
I was hoping you could keep this between us. Please don't tell our friends about any of this.
Are you serious?
I don't want there to be any rumors about my family that we're the type of people to say any of that kind of stuff. I've got to start dating again, and if there's talk going around, it might hurt my chances of finding someone good.
Wow. I guess I won't say anything. I really don't want to talk about this ever again.
Thanks. I really am sorry about all of this. They've never said it to me, but I bet all my friends think that a factory job is pretty pathetic too. Sorry, but I don't think you're going to have any luck finding someone to marry you as long as you work there. That job might totally ruin your life. But good luck. Hey, Anthony! Long time no talk, huh?
Who's this?
It's Mary! Have you forgotten about me already?
How are you texting me? I blocked your number a while ago.
Ah, well, actually I changed my number. You blocked me? That's rude.
What do you want? Let's keep this short.
Don't be a jerk. A friend and I were just talking about you, so I thought I'd shoot you a text.
Oh, great. I'm really busy right now. I don't have time to make small talk.
Hang on a sec. I wanted to tell you how much I regret breaking up with you. You're still working at the same company, right? I wasn't aware of how much you were making there. Oh, I was so mean to you back then.
Whatever, I don't care. You texted me because you found out how much I make at my job. You haven't changed one bit.
You're wrong. I've totally changed. I was such a horrible person for breaking up with you just because you were working in a factory. I really did love you back then. I can't believe I was so foolish. I've been waiting for the chance to apologize to you.
Oh yeah? I'm already over it. In fact, I'm engaged.
You are? I heard you were single.
Yeah, I guess single meaning not married yet, which is true. We just got engaged recently. In fact, her parents happily gave me permission to marry their daughter. Asking your parents was the worst experience of my life. I never want to go through that again.
I can't believe you're getting married. I thought you'd never forget about me. That's the whole reason why I texted you. That's what my friend told me.
Well, I guess you could say I could never forget you. I don't mean that in a good way. I don't know what your friend told you, but they definitely didn't have their story straight. I never broke the promise I made to you about never telling your friends about us. I don't know how they could have thought I wasn't over you.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand? You're the one who made me promise that. On the other hand, I heard right after we broke up you married some hotshot CEO.
Ugh, don't bring him up. We've already split up.
Yeah, I know. I also know how he lied about being a CEO. He was actually unemployed, right? You really are so stupid, it must run in the family. You never thought to Google his name. You would have found out he was a fraud in like 2 seconds.
You knew that he was lying to me before we got married. That's a real scumbag move to not tell me.
You have no right to call anyone else a scumbag. What's even crazier is that he was the stalker you had before you started dating me, right? I actually never got the chance to see what he looked like back then. You're a real piece of work. You don't care who the man you marry is as long as you think he has money?
No. I had no idea that's who he really was. He got plastic surgery. I didn't recognize him. He was really believable. I could have sworn he was really a CEO with all the presents he was buying for me. I later found out he maxed out all his credit cards to get them for me. I got catfished.
Wow. He must have really wanted to marry you if he did all of that. Plastic surgery? If he pretended to be rich, he must have really known you and the type of man you're after. I don't think you'll ever find someone who cares about you that much.
Oh, this is all your fault.
Oh, what?
I heard you told someone at the bar that as long as a guy was rich, I would marry him.
Oh, yeah? I might have said that to one of my coworkers, but that wasn't one of your friends, so I technically didn't break my promise.
It doesn't matter. The creepy stalker guy worked at the bar you were at. He knew you used to bring me there a lot when we were dating, so he got plastic surgery and started working there.
Really? That's actually kind of impressive.
Don't compliment him! Because of you, my life is in shambles. You need to make up for all of this by marrying me.
You're insane. I finally found someone that would never put me through the same things you did. She's got a great personality and she's drop-dead gorgeous. She's worlds better than you.
You expect me to believe someone that perfect works in a factory? Ooh, you must have really been desperate.
What? Desperate? You really haven't changed at all. You shouldn't be so judgmental of people like your parents are.
What else do you want me to say? That reminds me. I don't think there's a better girl on the planet for you than me.
You sound so conceited.
My parents are totally on board with us getting married now. They finally gave you their blessing. You must be so happy.
You make me sick.
Why? You were devastated when they told you we couldn't get married.
Everything's changed since then. I honestly don't want anything to do with you anymore. I have an amazing woman I can't wait to marry. And she has a wonderful family who really like me. You think I'd throw that all away to marry you?
Yup. I'm cute and I'm pretty good at cooking. I think I'm the perfect wife for you.
Well, think again. You're a monster that was brought into this world by two monster parents. That's all I think of you. I'm done talking about this. Don't bother texting me ever again.
No! I just want to get married to you. My parents really said that they think you make a wonderful husband. My parents finally approve of you. Don't say all these hurtful things to me.
I don't care what you or your parents think. Like I said, lose my number.
Don't leave. Let's just meet face to face. You can see for yourself what a wonderful person I am now.
No way. I never want to see you again.
I really wanted to spend the rest of our lives together when you asked me to marry you. It's all my parents' fault. They didn't approve and there was nothing I could do. I always trusted my parents and never went against anything they said. That's the only reason I said what I did to you. Those weren't my true feelings.
Is that right?
Please believe me. That's why I couldn't bring myself to tell you I wanted to break up and why I brought you in front of my parents after you proposed. But after I did, they told me they couldn't accept us getting married. Honestly, I've never really felt that way. I'm so sorry I hurt your feelings back then.
Great. I accept your apology. I'll put everything that happened in the past behind me.
Really? Does that mean we can start over? I really want to get married to you, Anthony. You're the only one for me.
If you would have told me that 3 years ago, maybe things could have been different. But I just can't comprehend how you could be so cruel to someone then try and play it off like you never meant any of it. I'm sorry, but I never want to see you again. I'm over what happened and I'm over you. I'm going to forget this whole horrible chapter of my life. I think you should do the same and focus on finding your perfect man.
But you're my perfect man. I'm already in my 30s. My options for men are running thin and I'm running out of time. My parents are setting me up on blind dates. But every man I meet is either old, fat, or bald.
Why should that matter? All you care about is that they've got money or not. Don't be so shallow.
I don't want any of them. I want someone handsome and nice. That's why the only man I want is you.
No way.
What don't you like about me? My age? Is your fiancé younger than me?
No. She's older.
Are you marrying someone's grandma?
I'll tell you exactly what I don't like about you.
You will?
Yeah, you smell like garbage.
What? Oh, I knew you were still holding a grudge against me. I told you that you didn't smell and you were just poor. Are you saying that I'm the one that's poor now?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your personality is so rotten that it's making you stink. You stink all the way down to your core. I don't think you'll ever be able to get rid of the smell. I'd never be able to get married to a person who smells that bad. Since then, I blocked Mary's number and I haven't heard from her since. One of her friends told me that Mary begged her to help to try get me back. I asked her to ignore it and to not talk about me at all, especially about my wedding. I heard that Mary tried to sue her ex-husband for fraud after he lied to her about being a CEO. The judge ruled that since he technically never took anything from her or tricked her out of any money, it wasn't fraud. The case was thrown out. All she could do was file a restraining order against him. Although I heard that the stalker dude is still up to his creepy stalking ways, he's just doing it from a distance. He's legally required to maintain. I know that Mary is truly an awful person. Even though her stalker knows what she's really like, he still wants to be with her. I don't think Mary will ever find someone that cares about her like that. On the other hand, my fiancé and I were so anxious to get married, we already went to the courthouse and signed our marriage license. Our wedding is in a few weeks. What happened between me and Mary 3 years ago really destroyed me. I really love my job, so it hurt even worse when she told me how pathetic she thought I was. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found my wonderful spouse. I'm honestly kind of grateful it all went down the way it did. No matter what the job is, as long as you're working hard to support someone else, that's all that should matter. Obviously, Mary didn't get that. If we really did end up getting married, there's no way I would have been as happy as I am with my life now. I'm so thankful for my wife and her parents who both love me and care about me. I'm going to do everything I can to be an ideal husband and son-in-law for them. Mary really gave me PTSD after all the horrible things she and her family said. Maybe there are times you may need to say something difficult to someone you love, but the way they did it was way out of line. Whatever. If she didn't know about bad karma before, she definitely knows about it now.